So when I see JD Vance undermine Trump's campaign, it just brings joy to my face. He did it again. He did it again. At least once a week, JD Vance says something or does something that makes Donald Trump look like a liar or makes Donald Trump look stupid. He does something to embarrass the campaign, and he does something to give negative attention to the Trump campaign. And this week is no different. As you know, Donald Trump has tried desperately to distance himself from Project 2025. In fact, he has said, I haven't seen it. I haven't read it. I don't know what's in it. I mean, it is a wild distortion of the truth. But yeah, hey, look, whatever works for you, Donald Trump. That would be a much easier sell if your VP choice was kind of on the same page. Instead, JD Vance didn't just engage the 2025 agenda. He's all in. He says that conservatives need to be ruthless and replace the existing ruling class with another ruling class. He says there's no compromise with the current government. So if Republicans want to stop losing, they need to overthrow the government. This is what this guy is saying. He says that Project 2025 is the way to go. Listen to this. Just listen to this, man, for yourself, so you don't think I'm being dramatic or exaggerate. Listen to what he says and judge for yourself.
I think that the thing that we have to take away from the last 10 years is that we really need to be really ruthless when it comes to the exercise of power. I was talking about this with someone earlier today, where you remember there was some threat that congressional or Senate Republicans made. If you get rid of the filibuster, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. And you actually look at it, it's like, well, this is not that interesting.
Like, we're going to actually deliver on our promises that we've made for decades.
Right? Like, sounds this is the threat. If you get rid of the filibuster, we're going to do this stuff. Like, they're talking about expanding the Supreme Court. They're talking about adding, 2 senators from heavily Democratic places.
You get rid of the filibuster, we'll actually deliver on defund.
We'll do what the base has been telling us that we don't want to do.
Yeah. So I think, look, I am a cynic about this and maybe even a little bit of a pessimist, but I think the challenge confronting American conservatives is that we have lost every major powerful institution in the country, except for maybe churches and religious institutions, which of course are weaker now than they've ever been. We have lost big business. We've lost finance. We've lost the culture. We've lost the academy. And if we're going to actually really affect real change in the country, it will require us completely replacing the existing ruling class with another ruling class. I say that knowing and hearing myself, it sounds really hard. It is really hard, but I don't think there's like a detent with these people. I don't think there's sort of a compromise that we're going to come with the people who currently actually control the country. Unless we overthrow them in some way, we're going to keep losing. And that's the challenge. Now,
some of y'all said, he didn't say overthrow. You're assigning words to him. No, he said overthrow. He literally is going point by point through the Project 2025 agenda and saying all the things that have to happen. He is advancing and endorsing Project 2025 word for word, while Donald Trump is saying, we haven't seen it, we haven't read it. Exactly. This is, again, it's as close to a smoking gun as you're going to get in politics usually. Problem is people aren't paying attention to it. Donald Trump, JD Vance are committed to the Project 2025 agenda. Now, Donald Trump doesn't have a real political commitment. He just wants to run the world. I always say there's 2 kinds of people who want to change the world and people who want to run the world. Some people are deep ideologues on every side of the political aisle who just want to run things. Who just want to impose their will on the world. They want to be warmongers like John Bolton, or they want to be religious warriors. They're anti this or pro that, whatever the thing you might be is. That's what you want to do. You want to change the world. And then there are people who just want to run it. They just want to be powerful. Donald Trump is the latter for sure. He just wants to run the world. But because he's so indifferent, he's willing to be an open town in a time of war for anybody who can help him achieve his goals. So If it's a warmonger, he'll take it. If it's an anti-trans person, he'll take it. If it's a white supremacist, he'll take it. And in this case, it's Project 2025. So he's willing to quietly accept the support of those who are advancing Project 2025. His own political policy choices, rather, are driven by the aims of Project 2025. They always have been. But he's willing to throw the rocks and hide his hands. But JD Vance is so dumb, so politically unsophisticated, that he keeps getting caught saying the opposite of what Donald Trump says because he's being too honest or he's being too arrogant. However you want to think about it, it ain't going to work. So please understand, y'all, for some of you out there who really want to believe that Donald Trump doesn't care about Project 2025, some of you are literally looking for a reason to vote for Donald Trump. Please stop. Knock it off. There's no space in a democracy for Donald Trump. There's no space as president, I'm saying, because his vision is anti-democratic. He wants to take over. He wants to literally overthrow parties, not defeat them, overthrow them. He's using the language of insurrection. He's using the language of treason almost to talk about political change. That's not good, y'all. That's quite dangerous. So we're not going to allow that, are we? How do you not allow it? Well, you gotta vote. You gotta organize. You gotta do something other than just watch my show. Although watching my show is a good way to do it too.